Hi, this is Joan, and I came back to do that video that I promised you. And we've got a lot to go over. There's a lot of stuff going down, there's a lot of shady stuff going on, and we have to clarify a few things. Things that aren't being told when they're reporting. And people are talking, people on the ground, people for the hurricane disasters, they're talking. Those community people, I have seen interviews that literally make me sick with how these people are being treated. So we're going to go over some of that stuff because these are things a great percentage of humanity, and I'm not talking you personally, but a great percentage of people, and I'm sure you know people like this. They're like ostriches, their heads stuck in the sand. They don't care what's going on. They don't care what's happening outside of their perimeter. All they care about is themselves, going to their job, doing their family thing, and keeping their phone in their nose in their phone. They have no need nor want to know what's happening down the street, in their community, in their state. Heaven forbid you talk about what's going on in the government. That's way over their head. But as you can tell, when you get older, you get wiser. I'm not saying I'm wise, but I'm smart enough to look things up and try to find the truth. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to keep doing it. In the meantime, let's talk about these states and what they're going through, okay? Now, I got a whole bunch of tabs opened up on this computer. I'm going to show you that I can't operate very well. Because it's only a couple weeks old. And I haven't played with it enough. I'm too busy looking stuff up on my tablet. Okay. Let's get to Tennessee. Let's talk there first. Tennessee investigating plastics factory after several workers trapped by Helene floodwaters died. It's called Impact Plastics, Inc. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, the state's criminal investigation agency, said Wednesday it is looking into allegations against the Irwin Plastics Factory, where several workers died and some went missing after they were swept away by floodwaters from Hurricane Helene. At the request of the district attorney, TBI agents are investigating allegations involving Impact Plastics. The Bureau spokesperson said in a statement to NBC News, the Bureau deferred additional questions to the district attorney's office. In the statement, he specifically asked that they review the occurrences on Friday, September 27th, to identify any potential criminal violations. NBC reached out to Impact Plastics, but did not get a response. Relatives of the missing and the deceased workers and factory employees who survived have alleged they were made to show up to work despite the movement of the hurricane through the area. Some have said they were denied the chance to leave before the torrid waters from heavy rainfall inundated the plastics factory parking lot and cut off their escape routes. One of the surviving employees told the news his requests to leave were denied and he was told instead to move his car, which he did twice. Despite the weather, we were told to be back at work. And about 30 people were working Friday morning when the flood trapped them. He described the scene of chaos and panic as workers tried to traverse the deadly waters. I just wish we never went to work that day because it was unnecessary. All these lives we lost because of that was wrong. A 56-year-old woman was among the workers who was trapped. Her son also confirmed to NBC News that she had died when she was swept from the flatbed of a truck of a company next door to the plastics factory that had come to rescue her. The son said one of the plant workers also confirmed to NBC that his mother had died. She fell into the water from a vehicle that was trying to get her to safety. Impact Plastics Inc. has expressed sympathy for the missing and the deceased workers, but said in a statement, workers were given time to leave the factory. Of course they're going to say that. While most employees left immediately, some remained on or near the premises for unknown reasons. The company said in the statement, senior management and assistants remained to oversee employee departures, access damage, and preserve company records. They were the last to leave the building. The company also said that at no time did it tell the workers they would be fired if they left, and that bilingual staff delivered warnings to the workers. The company said 5 workers and a contractor were on a truck and was tipped over in floodwaters. The company and the state officials are not publicly identifying the dead in deference to their families. Can you imagine? You're going to work. The storm is heading right for you. You know it. And you're told you've got to come into work anyway. And then when it's starting to get bad, you're told you can't leave. I don't know what you would do, but I would say screw it, and I'd have my ass in my car, and I would be leaving. And unfortunately, there was deaths due to that. Now let's go to Georgia. Georgia's power outage map, thousands still without power days after Helene. Thousands are still without power in Georgia as the region begins its recovery after Hurricane Helene left a path of destruction through the southeast. As of 6:45 Eastern Standard Time, 620,313 customers in Georgia are without power, making it the state with the second most power outages caused by the storm, according to Power Outage USA in South Carolina. There are 818,153 customers out of power, and in North Carolina, there are 491,165 customers. In total, nearly 2.5 million homes and businesses in the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, and Virginia are without power after a massive storm swept through the country. The maps track storms. There's an 800-mile path of destruction across southeastern U.S. I'm going to move this. As you could see, I hope you could see. That's Georgia's power outage. Oops. So that was Georgia. Now, change screens here. Okay. Helene updates southeast reels from the deadly storm damage and heavy flooding. I'm going to let you listen to this.
When flooding began Friday.
Water was just rushing in, power out.
As the water rose, she says her 83-year-old mother was placed in a boat tethered to the hospital. What was going through your head?
Just that my mama's gonna die. My mama's gonna be swept away.
More than 60 patients were evacuated by helicopter, the hospital says, all making it out alive.
The nurses, the staff there, they made sure we all got out.
Amid so much desperation, stories of survival, heroism, and hope. In Ashe County, North Carolina, onlookers watched in horror as this home was swept away with the woman still inside. Armed with a life jacket and a rope, Eddie Hunnell jumped in.
I just couldn't watch her die.
Pilots from around the country coming together to bring in critical supplies and get people out.
We've had people from Texas to Maine, all the way across the East Coast, just show up.
Ordinary people joining forces to support one another during unimaginable times. While Angel feels some local leaders fell short, she says heroes saved her and her mom.
I just want to thank them. If it weren't for them, we would not have made it.
Priscilla.
Okay. That's some of the things Tennessee is dealing with. That was at a hospital. Another guy said a tree crashed into his house in Arden, North Carolina on Friday, punched a hole in his roof when the remnants of the hurricane struck. Another tree took out his van. We spent the first 2 nights at our neighbor's house, God bless them, to make sure this tree is not going to make like a cheese slicer and slice its way through the block of cheese, which is our house. Miller covered the tree with a tarp and returned to his home since. It seems to be staying in a stable position. We're staying in a different part of the house. It's not overhead. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine if there's a tree coming through your house and that's the way you've got to stay? And so you're in a different room. It's unbelievable what's going on. And I have to ask, where is the help? Where is the help? You've got community people helping. People are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to help these people. I haven't even covered half of it yet. I want to know. Everybody always says, FEMA, Red Cross, our government. I got a few things to tell you after I'm finished with some of these other things. Let's talk Asheville, North Carolina. Relief efforts continue in Asheville and in western North Carolina area where a major disaster due to Tropical Storm Helene has left communities devastated, roads impassable, thousands without power, There were only estimates Sunday evening about the extent of the destruction, with the full scope of Helene devastation not expected to be known for some time. Check back for live updates as they roll in throughout the day on Tuesday. In Avery County and Newland, Avery County in the town of Newland. I'm sorry, I don't know that area. 5 deaths so far. Searches continue. Avery County, a ski resort area in western North Carolina near Tennessee border, has so far reported 5 deaths from Helene floodwaters, but many are still unaccounted for. The information comes from a viral social media post claiming that 200 people had died in the county seat of Newland. But Avery County manager on Tuesday said that that number is false. The missing person list is growing, but we don't panic because the cell phone situation has been rough. The county of about 18,000 people is known for its ski season and Christmas trees. Barrier said most of the holiday trees have been lost and he's concerned about the ski slopes. I really don't think that be my priority right now, but that's just me. Which he hopes to check on Wednesday. He said he's been touched by the community support as well as people coming as far as South Carolina to bring hot food, toys, and other goods.